Welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we're doing the Brazilian metal kings Sepultura. You have to have that fucking in the middle of it. You just have to. Thrash metal pioneers, legends, one of the biggest names in thrash metal. It's just an all-round encompassing band which has so many different styles, so many different sounds within the discography as a whole. So it's very interesting to go through them, to go back through all the albums and find out, which one do I really love the best? Which one is really the best? And I think my work was cut out, but we're here right now and we're here to goddamn rank. So before I get started, put yours down below. What's your favourite Sepultura albums? What's your least favourite? And which era do you kind of prefer? So yeah, everyone's got the work cut out for them. And let's get started with my least favourite. So my least favourite is Against. Everything was just against this album. You see what I fucking did there? Derek Green, first time he came in with a band, he didn't write any of this stuff. It was just kind of fucking given to him. So don't blame him for this being fucking shit, because it is fucking awful and I don't want to listen to this one again. It's not Derek Green's fault, because he has made some great albums with a band, so don't put all the fucking blame on him. It was the songwriting was awful. The band was just kind of in turmoil. The end product was just not good. It was just not fucking good. So, in this ranking, a lot of the times with my rankings, I'm like, I fucking love everything. With these guys, there's a section that I don't like, and then there's a big chunk that I do like, because they have so many albums. This is one of the ones that I fucking don't like, and I don't really want to listen to it again. That's gone in that pile. And let's move on to the next one, which is Nation. Some people really like this one. I don't know why. I think this is fucking awful. This is the same level as Against, in my opinion. They're both garbage fire. This one has some kind of like anthemic-y chorus. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to meld the sound with the times, It's kind of new metal-y, similar to Roots, but not as tribal as Roots. But it just missed the mark on this one. Completely fucking missed the mark. It doesn't really sound like Sepultura. It sounds like them trying to go way too mainstream. Way too mainstream. Luckily, they kind of honed it back to the original sound, and the Sepultura we have now is fucking fantastic. But the mid-period is just not my cup of tea. And Nation is just fucking abysmal. So both of them, burn them. Fucking burn them. Next up is Roorback. Roorback. This is one of the albums from the discography that I haven't really put the most time in with, because I always kind of get bored with the album. It's not as offensively bad as fucking those two, and maybe not as offensively bad as one of the others, but nostalgia makes that higher. But I just don't find that much enjoyment in this one. Similar to another one, which we'll get to, but there's nothing that really jumps out on the album for me for this one, personally. I mean, you might have it a lot fucking higher. For me, there's a couple of other ones which I'm like, fuck yeah, that song. On this one, I'm kind of like, everything's just good, This is a good album. It's not special, it's not spectacular. It's not like any of the fucking other ones, like Machine Messiah and the Mediator. Those two fucking kick ass. This one is not quite on that level. Nowhere near as good as fucking Quadra. Don't even fucking argue with that. So it's going at the back end of the list just because it's not as memorable as the rest of the albums. Maybe with way more listens, it might rise up. But yeah, something's got to go almost at the bottom of the list, and yeah, Roorback it is. Next up is A-lex, or A-lex, or whatever the hell you want to call it. This is a weird one. It's another concept album, kind of like Dante. 12, or is it 21? I never know how to say the Roman numerals. Never know how to fucking say them, but it's another concept album based on Clockwork Orange, which I adore, so I'm giving this some points for that, because I fucking love that album. I love that movie to bits. But, a concept can't really save an album. It's another kind of dull album. It feels more mechanical. This album feels more mechanical, feels more produced, and I enjoy the album. I enjoy it a lot more than the ones I just mentioned. I think it is more memorable than Roorback, so I'm putting it a bit higher, and I love the concept of it, so I'm putting it a bit higher. But compared to the concept of Dante's Inferno, it's not really on the same caliber. Kind of like if you subscribe to Falls of Metal. They're awesome YouTube channel. They do rankings and stuff as well. Well, they ranked Sepultura, and they kind of said the similar thing. You know, Dante's Inferno is like way up here. Clockwork Orange is kind of down here in the scope of things, in the scope of grand concepts. Dante's Inferno fucking wins, but the music itself, rather than the concepts, the music is just, it's a bit mechanical. It's kind of, it just doesn't feel the drums don't feel that good on this album. Nothing really feels that good, and yeah, so it's going fucking lower. Next up is Roots, bloody Roots. Roots, the album. This is the one which is pretty shit, but because of nostalgia, this is my first Sepultura album. The songs on it got stuck in my head. You know, Roots, bloody Roots. I still jam that. I still love that song. What are you gonna do? I still love that song. And Ratamahata, or whatever they do in that song is amazing, and that's one of the best Sepultura songs of all time because of how stupid it is, because of how ridiculous it is. They didn't they go to the rainforest with the tribal people to film this album for some of the backing tracks? What? Fucking what? But this does feel more new metal-y. It does feel kind of like them trying to be Slipknot or Korn, but it just doesn't really work. Doesn't really work. Aside from those songs because of nostalgia, this album might have been a lot lower. You know, some people might have this last, and I'll be like, fair enough. For me, it's going higher just because of nostalgia reasons, really. But the album as a whole, if you grew up with it, you'll probably like it. If you didn't grow up with it, you probably fucking hate it. After listening to Beneath the Remains and Arise, listening to Roots is just a big slap in the face. Big slap in the face. So, and this isn't even with Derek Green. A lot of people think this is with Derek Green, and it fucking isn't. It's the Cavalera brothers still. Yeah, this album's kind of like a midpoint for me. It's a But now we're getting into some juicy shit. From here on out, I love these goddamn albums. Here on out, love these albums. Roots, backwards, those albums, meh. So let's get into the fucking juicy shit. Next up is Kairos. This one is fucking way better. It's more heavy, it's more memorable, there's more catchy riffs, catchy choruses, just catchiness all throughout this goddamn album. And I think they just continued to progress and progress with the newer sound of Sepultura and made it better and better within each album. You'll see that as the list goes on. It just gets better and better each album. This one is the start. This one is the fucking start. And yeah, fucking great goddamn start, because I love this album to bits. Next up is Dante 12. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. It could be 21. I mean, I said a lot. I said the 14th Crusade for Bolt Thrower for most of my life, and I realised it's the 4th Crusade, because I can't read Roman goddamn numerals. But this is the album with the concept for Dante's Inferno, and just everything on this album is so much better. So much better than A-lex. So much goddamn better. Concept is better, the songs are way better, the fucking sound of it, the sound design is way better for some reason, even though that's, you know, next. But the sound design on this one, I just much goddamn prefer. It's less mechanical sounding. Yeah, this album is fucking awesome, and it's very underrated. So definitely go check out Dante 12. Definitely check this one out if you haven't. It's not on some streaming platforms, which is a bit weird. So you have to kind of check it out. I mean, maybe you have the CD, maybe you have the vinyl, or if not, go check it out on YouTube, because it is well worth your time, and it's an underrated fucking classic by Sepultura, and it deserves your goddamn love. Next up, the mediator between head and hands must be the heart. This album is a massive step up now. Like, these next ones, like, fuck yes. And this one is no different. I showed this to one of my friends, and they're not a big Sepultura fan. I showed this to them, and they fucking jammed it. They got into it. This is heavy as fuck, interesting as fuck, and it's one of the newest, best Sepultura albums. This alongside my next one as well, which you probably know, because I just spoiled it by saying my next one. This alongside that is just brought new life into Sepultura after they were kind of like, Kairos was good, but this was fucking amazing. You know, good Kairos, amazing Mediator. And again, it's another underrated album by Sepultura, and it's one you should definitely check out because the songs on it are fucking heavy. It's a very heavy Sepultura album. I'll give you that. It's very heavy, and it's one of my favourites, and it's this low down. They just have so many good albums. So yes, next one is Machine Messiah. Fuck, this album kicks ass. This one is another big step up from the last one, and the last one was amazing already, so this is like a fucking 10. Fucking adore this album to bits. Another, I don't know if this one's underrated actually. I think people do like this one. I think people do give this one credit, and they should, because it's fucking amazing. I also really love the artwork with a kind of crab-looking thing on it. I don't know what it's supposed to be, giant enemy crab, but whatever it is, it looks cool. Yeah, but some people like Loudwire and shit, or Louder Sound. I always think they're the same company. They criticised this one for the first song, the title track, Machine Messiah, being too slow. He sings on it. Fuck off. Machine Messiah is the best song on the goddamn album. I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. The fact it's so unique that he's singing on it and how doomy this song is. I love Doom. You know, I fucking love Doom. So I much appreciate this title track. I think it's flawless. This title track gets you right in the mood for the album, and it's one of the best songs Sepultura have done. You know, I'm a Doom fan though, you know, I prefer Doom to Thrash, so of course I'm gonna love this one, but I think more people should get into it because Machine Messiah, the song, fucking flawless. Also, Phantom Self is amazing, that chorus in Phantom Self, oh, Machine Messiah, it's beautiful. You definitely need to listen to it if you've never listened to it, and I say listen to it right now. Next up is going to get me some hate. Chaos AD. Yeah, a lot of people have this as number one. Number one. And I fucking disagree. I disagree. I love this. I love this album. You know, I do. But I think the sound-wise, it's not my cup of tea compared to the others. Sound-wise, yeah? It has that kind of transitional period from Arise, and it's going from death metal, death thrash, whatever you want to call it, into tribal stuff. And there's a lot of that mixture on Chaos AD, which I'm not the biggest fan of. The songs, though, killer. War for Territory! Even, like, the catchy songs in the album has that kind of flair to it, which I'm like, yeah, it's great. The riffs on it, goddamn, the riffs on Chaos AD fucking slay. I love them. The riffs are amazing. But yeah, it does feel that kind of transitional period between this and like Roots and Against and stuff. So you can kind of see where they're going from this album. And where they go from this album, I do not fucking like. So it's a classic album. You know, I love the songs on it. The riffs are catchy, but because of this, it is a midpoint and it has that flair to it, I can't put it higher than the classics. I just fucking can't. You know, I'm sure this is a classic as well, but I prefer straight up thrash compared to thrash infused tribal metal, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, there's a bit of a downer on this one. I love it, but it's just not for me. And yeah, taste and shit. Most people have this one, but fuck them. It's my channel. My word is law. It's going here. Next up is Quadra. Yes, there is some tribal shit on this album as well. This is where I get this is where I get people saying there's fucking more tribal stuff on Quadra than there is on Chaos AD. But fuck you. Quadra is goddamn amazing. It has the old thrash, like proper thrash shit. It has the new heavy, and the production on it, oh my god, the production on it is fucking flawless. Quadra is just the best of both eras. Aside from the middle, it cuts the fucking middle shit out. Best of both eras merged into one, and I love it. Quadra is amazing. Next up, Morbid Visions. Yes, the debut. That's going so high. It's going higher than Chaos, going higher than Quadra. It is like the most black metal-y. It feels like a first wave black metal album. Feels more like Venom, more like Bathory, and that's what I fucking love about it. Black thrash at its goddamn best. Love this album. Love how raw it is, love how shitty the production is, and I was just praising Quadra for good production, and this production is awful, but it works with the music. It works with the music. That works with that music. This works with this music. One of the best debuts of all fucking time. One of the best goddamn debuts. Intense as all hell. You can throw this on and just go on a fucking rampage, throw some white face paint on and scare the local nuns. It's great. This album's great. So it's going high. So next up, Schizophrenia. Evolving the sound from the debut and making it way fucking better. Way fucking better. This kind of feels more death thrashy. I don't know if it's just me, but this and the next one feels more death / thrash. And that's the sound that I fucking love, because death metal's like the fucking bee's knees, boys. Schizophrenia, underrated as fuck. Some people would have, obviously, Chaos higher. Some people would have the debut higher. Maybe, like, Roots higher. But, nah, Schizophrenia, underrated as fuck. One of the best Sepultura albums of all goddamn time. So it's coming in here at number 3, and the songs on it kick ass. Screams Behind the Shadows, Septic Schizo. I mean, every song on here is furious, frantic, thrashy, and evil, and that's what you want. So here it is, comes down to it, the last two. What's it gonna be? You know it's gonna be down to these two. These are pretty fucking famous. Number 2 is Arise, and that artwork is beautiful. Beautiful, I love it. Again, it feels like a kind of crab monster on top of this pyramid of flesh. This is proper Sepultura. This is the Sepultura I like. Evil, dark, catchy as fuck. Not being too tribey. This is pure thrashy death metal. Or deathy thrash metal, I want to say. And people are probably going to be shouting at me, like, it doesn't sound like death metal. Don't care. To me it does. Love the vocals on it. Love the catchiness. Love the songs. It's a classic for a goddamn reason. It's one of the best albums of all time. Not just Sepultura albums. And you show this artwork to anyone, they'll be like, that's fucking Sepultura, and that album's fucking great. I mean, Dead Embryonic Cells, the chorus, Arise. The songs on here kick ass. Keep kicking your ass until it's fucking into dust. Kicks your ass into dust. And you love it every single second. So Arise has almost arose to the top, but just fell short because one other album is just the king of the castle. Always has been, always will be. Nothing's gonna beat Beneath the Remains. Beneath the Remains. That artwork, man. That kind of skull, like the kind of rose in its head or whatever it is. Also iconic. Also amazing. Again, you show that to someone, they'll be like, that's Sepultura? And that album's the best Sepultura album. If they're smart, they'll say it's the best Sepultura album. Fucking brashy as hell. Mixing the best worlds of Schizophrenia with Arise, because it's in the midpoint, makes the perfect album. The perfect thrash album. Beneath the Remains is the perfect thrash album. You say Master of Puppets, I say Beneath the Remains. Fucking, it is flawless. It's one of the best albums of all time, just like Arise. You could put either of these, one or two really, but just personal taste. Beneath the Remains just has that fucking intensity all the way through. Goddamn, one of the most intense thrash metal albums of all time. But it doesn't lack catchiness. It has the catchiness there. It just pummels you with the catchiness every fucking song. So, adore Beneath the Remains, easily number 1. And that does it for Sepultura. So let me know down below, what's your favourite Sepultura album? What's your least favourite? Do you hate me for putting Chaos AD mid? Mid tier? I mean, I still put it pretty fucking high. It's still good. I still jam it, but I just don't think it's as magnificent as other people say. That's all I'm going to say. Schizophrenia deserves more love. Give more love to Schizophrenia. Fucking amazing album. But yeah, love most of Sepultura's discography, so this was a fun ride. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.